exploration of 10 fascinating psychological phenomena that shape our understanding of the world. From the way we remember our past to the decisions we make in the present, these insights into human behavior will leave you questioning the nature of your own mind. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more thought-provoking content. Number 1. Things that happen to us in early adulthood. Stay with us long term. Have you ever noticed how often older people talk about their early 20s? Or have you ever wondered why so many people love coming-of-age stories? Well, this phenomenon is referred to as the reminiscence bump. You see, we have a preference for recalling experiences from adolescence and early adulthood, primarily due to the emotional intensity of this period, because of the number of choices and changes that occurred during that time. Graduation, marriage, the birth of a child, these are all new experiences, making them much more memorable. Research also suggests that memories are easily accessible from the reminiscence bump because they are linked to self-identity and significantly contribute to an individual's attitudes, beliefs, and life goals. Number 2, thinking about your problems from a third-person perspective allows you to find effective solutions. Would you say you think about other people's problems more clearly and sensibly than your own? According to research, the answer for most people is yes, and this known as the Solomon's paradox. People, regardless of age, are more likely to think more rationally while contemplating someone else's difficulties than when addressing their own problems. That said, a self-distancing strategy can eliminate this bias. So, the next time you're faced with a personal dilemma, practice your reasoning skills by taking a step back and considering your situation from an outsider's perspective. Number 3, those most incompetent are the least aware of their own incompetence. You've probably witnessed this happen, maybe around the dinner table during a holiday family gathering. During the meal, an extended family member begins talking about something, claiming to be right, and everyone else is foolish, ignorant, or just plain wrong. This person's lack of knowledge is obvious to everyone in the room. Yet, they continue to ramble on, blissfully unaware of their own ignorance. This is called the Dunning-Kruger effect, a cognitive bias in which people think they are smarter and more capable than they actually are. Their poor self-awareness and low cognitive ability lead them to overestimate their actual capabilities. Number 4, hostile people tend to own more aggressive dogs. Research shows that anger, aggression, and hostility are more common in the personality of owners of stereotypically violent breeds. Could it be possible that people choose dogs that are an extension of themselves? We typically select friends and partners with similar interests and tendencies. So, why not pets? Perhaps. But other factors may also influence people's aggression and their choice of violent breeds. For instance, those who are socially isolated, have fewer visitors, or live in high-crime neighborhoods are more likely to be under chronic stress, possibly making them more aggressive, and thus, they would be more inclined to pick a guard dog such as a Rottweiler or Pit Bull. Number 5, daydreamers are more creative. Do you tend to get in trouble for daydreaming in class or during a meeting at work? Mind-wandering is often viewed as a negative trait, but it's not necessarily the case. In fact, daydreaming may indicate intelligence and creativity. According to research, high-measured intelligence and creativity go hand in hand with high levels of mind-wandering. What's more, frequent daydreamers not only tend to score higher on IQ tests, but their brains also appear to be more efficient. Yes, some people have more efficient brains than others, which translates into an increased capacity to think, and, as a result, their brains may wander when performing easy tasks. They can zone in and out of discussions or tasks when appropriate, then seamlessly tune back in without losing crucial details or steps. Number 6, rejection. Literally hurts. Have you ever felt like you got punched in the stomach after being rejected by someone? Why is that? Well, apparently, that's how our minds are wired to respond. Turns out, the same parts of our brains get activated when we experience rejection as when we experience physical pain. That's why even small rejections hurt more than they should, as they elicit literal, though emotional, pain. Number 7, speaking in a foreign language changes your decisions. You might think that people would make the same decisions no matter what language they were using, or that the difficulty of using a foreign language would make decisions less systematic. However, the opposite is true. Using a foreign language is shown to reduce decision-making biases. When speaking a foreign language, we need to suppress our native language. And in order to think rationally, we have to suppress our innate intuitions. Brain imaging studies show the same parts of the brain are involved in both foreign language use and rational thought. And when foreign language speakers activate their brain's inhibition center, their intuitions and emotions are also inhibited. As a result, individuals make more rational decisions when speaking a foreign language. Number 8, we blame a person's behavior on their personality unless it's us. Have you ever been infuriated by someone cutting you off while driving, only to do the same thing to someone else a few minutes later? And while the person who cut you off enraged you, and your reaction was along the lines of "what a jerk" or "this guy is in a hole," you're likely to have justified your behavior to yourself since you were in a hurry and you only did it once. Unfortunately, we tend to believe that others do bad things because they are bad people. This is known as the fundamental attribution error, the propensity to explain a person's behavior by referring to their character rather than any situational context. Number 9, we believe that other people are more susceptible to persuasion than we are. We seem to be more aware of how advertising affects other people than we are of how it affects us. And this is referred to as the third-person effect. People can see how an advertisement or a persuasive message affects their peers, but not how it affects them. Further, they are more inclined to deny its influence, and it's even worse when it's an ad for something they have little interest in. You may not realize it, but the mass media messages you are subjected to regularly, subconsciously, affect your mood, desires, and even attitude. Number 10, dopamine makes you addicted to seeking information. Have you ever found yourself scrolling through your social media feed for hours on end? It all comes down to the dopamine-seeking reward loop. Dopamine is known as the pleasure chemical because it causes you to seek enjoyment and pleasurable activities such as eating, sex, drugs, and so on. But dopamine also about other people's problems more clearly and sensibly than your own? According to research, the answer for most people is yes, and this known as the Solomon's paradox. People, regardless of age, are more likely to think more rationally while contemplating someone else's difficulties than when addressing their own problems. That said, a self-distancing strategy can eliminate this bias. So, the next time you're faced with a personal dilemma, practice your reasoning skills by taking a step back and considering your situation from an outsider's perspective. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the intricacies of the human mind. We hope these insights have sparked your curiosity and encouraged you to view the world from a new perspective. Don't miss out on future episodes. Subscribe to our channel and stay tuned for more thought-provoking discussions on the complexities of human psychology.